General Hospital spoilers reveal dramatic confrontations, bad decisions, sheer honesty, and so much more. You won't want to miss a moment of this intense new episode. Sonny, Maurice Benard, thinks he is going to be breaking bad news to Carly, Laura Wright. Well, at least bad from her point of view. He is surprised to hear that Carly already knew that he and Nina were engaged, and he tries to make sure she is okay with this turn of events. The subject turns to her SEC case, and Carly has pretty much resigned herself to the fact that she is going down for this. Sonny wants to help her out, but Carly tells him that sometimes telling the truth is the right answer. Is this really Carly, or was she kidnapped and replaced with someone else? Meanwhile, Nina, Cynthia Watrous, is determined to save herself from her own actions and thinks the best way to do that is by taking the gloves off, saying the ramifications are worth it. Ava, Maura West, wonders what she means by that. After their argument in which Sam, Kelly Monaco, told Christina, Kate Monsey, she doesn't quite trust her business acumen, the sisters sit down for an honest talk, and Christina might realize she has bitten off more than she can chew. Will she enlist Sam as her helper? Meanwhile, TJ, Taj Bello, remains concerned about Molly, Haley Pullos, and decides to turn to someone for advice. As always, Aunt Stella, Vernie Watson, knows just what to say as she assures TJ that Molly just needs time to absorb shocking medical news. Portia Brooke Kerr is surprised when Curtis, Donald Turner, arrives at her office to talk about their future. She wonders if they even have one and asks Curtis if their marriage is now officially over. As for Jordan, Tanisha Harper, she still feels guilt over that kiss she shared with Curtis and confides in Anna, Finola Hughes, that she is now carrying around another secret and doesn't know what to do with it. GH spoilers reveal Jocelyn is desperate to find a way for Dex to stop working for Sonny and live his life with her. Sure, Sonny told her that all Dex had to do was ask, but that is not good enough for Jocelyn. Jocelyn, Eden McCoy, is absolutely furious at Michael, Chad Duell, for giving up on his revenge plot against Sonny, Maurice Benard, thanks to another one of Willow's, Catelyn McMullen, many death wishes, but that doesn't mean that Jocelyn can't take the initiative here. It would be foolish if Dex, Evan Hofer, sent that video of the pikeman shipment to Michael and didn't have a backup for himself. We can see Jocelyn taking that backup video and going to the feds on her own to try to put her former stepfather behind bars for good, and we can also see that backfiring on her royally. First, there is the little matter of the shipment being for the US government to help other countries fight authoritarian regimes, so it is not quite as damaging against Sonny as Jocelyn, Dex, and Michael want to believe. It is definitely dirty, but with the government involved, Sonny might be able to beat any legal issues. Then, there would be the fallout of Jocelyn's actions. While Sonny has said he could never forgive the person who turned Carly, Laura Wright, and Drew, Cameron Matheson, into the SEC, we know he would feel even more anger towards a son who worked for a year to put him behind bars, while planting a spy in his organization. That is beyond anything Nina did in an impulsive fit of anger after Carly purposely set out to hurt her. We also know that Carly would defend Michael against Sonny's wrath and take his side, infuriating Carly even more. Learning what Nina did to Carly could pale in comparison to learning what both of Carly's children did to him. While so many fans think the SEC secret will be what does Sonny and Nina in and breaks them up for good, what Michael and Jocelyn have done and will likely do to Sonny will have so much more impact that Jocelyn might inadvertently strengthen a relationship she has been railing against for over a year. Perhaps Jocelyn might want to think before she acts, but since she is just like Carly, that is highly unlikely. The General Hospital recap features Christina Corinthos Davis showing off her new project and not getting the best reception from one sister. In this episode, Christina met with Sam and Alexis to discuss her future. Molly told TJ she felt guilty over how serious she let her endometriosis get. Sonny and Carly shared their engagement news with Ava and Avery, while Carly admitted she actually screwed up. Finally, Portia thanked Jordan for all her help, while Curtis asked Drew if he divorced Jordan too soon. Now let's dig a little deeper into the details. Alexis, Nancy Lee Gran, welcomed Sam, Kelly Monaco, to her home so they could discuss the other Davis girls. While Sam was worried about Christina, Kate Monsey. Alexis was worried about Molly, Haley Pullos. Sam admitted that Molly seemed upset at Michael and Willow's wedding, but she never followed up to see what was wrong. Alexis advised that they allow Molly to talk to them about what was wrong in her own time. Sam's concern was about the shelter Christina wanted to run. She thought Christina was biting off more than she could chew, but when Christina arrived with plans for the shelter, she was determined to prove Sam wrong. Christina had a vision for the place but didn't seem to know what was needed to renovate a whole building. Sam was not impressed, but Alexis did her best to be supportive. Sam tried to give Christina advice, but Christina was only offended by Sam's comments, especially when Sam pointed out that Christina never follows through on her life projects. Perhaps Sam should be more worried about Molly than she is about Christina. At their apartment, Taj Bello, tried to comfort a distraught Molly as she got ready for work. He wanted her to take the day off, but Molly insisted she had to go on with her life despite her endometriosis diagnosis. TJ wanted to talk about other options to have a child, but Molly didn't want to think about it. He also wanted to know why Molly kept her endometriosis symptoms a secret. When TJ pressed her about how often she felt pain, Molly admitted sex could be painful, but she didn't tell him because she didn't want to give up the intimacy that came with intercourse. She also just assumed her exaggerated period symptoms were normal. She admitted she felt guilty for never getting her symptoms checked out because she allowed the endometriosis to progress to this severe stage. Sonny and Nina celebrated their first morning as a newly engaged couple as Nina admired her ring. Soon, Ava, Maura West, stopped by to drop off Avery, and Avery immediately noticed the ring Nina was trying to hide in her hand. Sonny explained, earlier than he had wanted to, that they were engaged and Avery just wanted to be the flower girl. Ava offered her congrats and worried about Carly's reaction, so Sonny headed over to see his ex and break the news that Carly already knew. When Sonny was gone, Ava chastised Nina for agreeing to marry Sonny when the secret of who turned Carly into the SEC hung over them. Ava reiterated to Nina that her relationship with Sonny would be over for good if Sonny ever learned the truth. Nana decided the only way to fix that was to take the gloves off. Diane, Carolyn Hennessy, and Carly, Laura Wright, met in Carly's kitchen to go over her case. Still, Carly couldn't wait to announce that Nina, Cynthia Watrous, and Sonny, Morris Bernard, were getting married. Carly tried to brush the whole thing off, but had to make sure to go off on Nina first. The subject then turned back to Carly's SEC mess. After Carly repeated her own story, Diane pointed out that in the eyes of the law, Carly broke it and is in trouble. Diane thought that Drew could throw Carly under the bus and claim he didn't know she was buying shares, but Carly balked at that. Instead, Diane suggested that if Carly gave the feds info on Sonny, then they would drop any charges against her. Carly said she would never do such a thing, despite what happened between them, so Diane told Carly she was in big trouble and out of options. Astoundingly, Carly admitted this was all her fault and that she may have to pay for her mistakes. When Carly was finally alone, Sonny walked in the back door because they clearly had much to discuss. Drew, Cameron Matheson, and Curtis, Donald Turner, met up at the boxing gym, and Curtis worried Drew might be upset about the things he's said about Carly. Drew didn't seem to care what Curtis said about his girlfriend and just smiled away while he tried to make Curtis feel better. The subject then logically turned to the SEC case, and Drew admitted the feds had a pretty strong case. Drew then asked Curtis to find dirt on Tracy, thanks to his weird idea that blackmailing one of Ned's loved ones would solve all their problems. Curtis's love life was the next topic, and Curtis wondered if he ended his marriage to Jordan too abruptly. Drew felt that Curtis shouldn't even be thinking about Jordan until he figured out his marriage to Portia. When Portia Brooke Kerr saw Jordan, Tanisha Happer, in the hospital halls, she insisted on talking to her. Portia thanked Jordan for helping get Trina back to Port Charles during the Ice Princess caper. She also thanked her for making sure that elevator got stuck so Portia could bring Oz Haggerty out of his coma. It hit Portia that Jordan has always been there to look after her family, and she was grateful. However, Jordan was taken aback when Portia asked her for advice on how to save her marriage. Jordan had no real words of wisdom about Curtis, but she did tell Portia to forgive herself for keeping the truth from Trina all those years.